This video is brought to you by WPForms. In this video, I'll walk you through how to create a file upload form on your WordPress website. This is a great feature to have if you're doing anything like accepting job applications, or if you're doing user submitted contests like an image or a photo contest, giveaway, any kind of user submitted content form. If you have client service forms that you need your clients to fill out and submit, then that works as well. And the list goes on and on. So to get something like that on your site, we want to head over to our WordPress dashboard. We're going to go over to plugins, add new, because we're going to add a plugin if you don't already have it on your site. We're going to upload the plugin because it is a premium plugin. We are going to install WPForms. WPForms is a fantastic drag and drop contact form plugin, and it is super robust in that it allows you to do so much more than simply doing a contact form. So once you get your WPForms plugin, you want to go to File, choose File, and then you want to upload the WPForms. Go ahead and hit Install Now. And once you install it, you'll also want to make sure that you activate the plugin. Great. Once it's activated, you can either go through this process, but I'm going to take you the step-by-step process. So let's head over to WPForms over here. We'll go to Settings, and you'll need to enter your license key that you'll get from the WPForms account dashboard. Once you add the license key, go ahead and verify it. Once it's verified, now we can go through the process. Great. Once we do our license key, we can go over to add-ons. We can create this from scratch, but there are several additional form templates that we can add. So I'm going to go to my form template pack, and this will install hundreds of pre-built templates for us to use. So once I click on install add-on, it'll also activate it for me as well. Now we're ready to create our form. So let's head over to the left and click add new. And from here, we want to add a form name. I'll just name this job application. And you can start from scratch up here, start with a blank form. But like I said, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to search for something called file upload form. It already has the file upload information for me. And this is the template that we can start from. So you see you have your name, email address, phone number if you want to get that. And then you have the file upload section here already filled out. And by and large, for a lot of people, this is pretty much everything else you need. You just want to make some simple tweaks to your settings. For instance, I don't want the phone number, so I'm going to hover over here and click delete. I'll say okay. And for my name feature, I'm going to click on that because I actually like the simple format where instead of doing first and last, it just does their name. That looks pretty good. Now, for the file upload, there are some things that we can restrict or a little bit extra that we need to do. So I'm going to click on this. And from here, you can change the label of this. Maybe you're asking for their resume, add a description if you want. And then here, this is where you can just allow different extensions. So maybe we just want to allow PDF, docx maybe, and we're good for that for now. The max file size, if you don't want it to be too large, you can add a max file size here. And if you hover over any of these question marks, it'll tell you a little bit extra information. As you see that it defaults to the maximum size that the server allow, which right now is 128. And that should be more than plenty for what we're doing. You can also choose the max file number. So if you want to allow multiples, say if you want them to also upload a CV or a cover letter or anything like that, then you can do that. So you see, once I do that, then it lets them know that they can actually upload a couple of files. And then you can choose to make this a required field. And if this is a job application, of course, you would want that as required. And then if I go on the advanced options setting and scroll down, you see that there's also this area here. Now, by default, all the files are uploaded by the users and they're stored in the WPForms folder inside the uploads directory of your site. But if you want to make things a little bit easier, then you can let these files be housed and stored in the media library. And that's just a little bit easier for people to find. So you can choose that as well. Okay, that's all looking pretty good. So the only other thing we need to do is let's head over to our settings area. Make sure everything looks good under the general. This is where you can change the form name, the submit button, what it says when somebody does submit, and then a few extra items down here. If you also want to, you can disable storing entry information. This is things like their IP address, and that helps for GDPR compliance. So that all looks pretty good here. And then the next thing you want to do is click on notifications to make sure that the emails look good. The email will be sent to the admin email. That is the admin email of your website. You could also hard code or put in a specific email address here if you want. This is the email subject line. The from name, you can remove that and do show smart tags. And the smart tags are the form fields that you can add. So it'd be from them. You can also choose to do from their email address instead of yours. And then down here, it will bring in all of the fields of the form, and that will all be in your email. So you'll see it all in one location. Now let's go to the confirmation page. And the confirmation page, this is actually great. You can either just choose to give them a message, and this message will pop up on the same page where the form is, and it'll scroll up to the confirmation message to make sure that they see it. You can also choose to show a different page, maybe a thank you page or what to expect next, something that's telling them a little bit more. You could even redirect them to a completely different URL if you'd like. So this is pretty powerful. You want to set this up to let them know what's the next step, what they can expect from you next, and things like that. So the confirmation looks good here. Now let's just save it. And now we need to add it to our website. So I'm going to close out of WPForms. And now I want to go to a page. Say we're saying we're hiring, and then we'll start on a new block. And from here, this is where I want to pull in the form. So I see it right here because it's mostly used. If you don't see it, you can click in here and search for WPForms. Once I start typing it, it will come up here. And this comes in, but now I need to choose the form that we're working on. So I'm going to pick the job application. Great. And now this all comes down and shows here. So now we're good to go, and we just need to click publish, publish again, and our form is ready on our site. You'll also want to make sure that you just verify that everything looks good. Maybe submit a form just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to go to view page, and from here you see you can upload a couple of files. So then when I do that, there are 2 files here, and I'm going to select those and upload those. And you see that those are uploaded. Now, I just created that, so that's not real. And then you see that I can't do any more, and that's a really great way to allow people to upload a file. And then you can let them do additional commenting. And then when they submit it, you can see that the message comes here. And now when we go back into the back end, you'll see when I go into my media, there is the file that was just submitted, and I can have that there so I can remove it or what have you. Also, when I go to all forms, you see that there's been 1 entry here. So I can click on that and I'll see the whole entry here. So I can view this and do whatever I need to with it. And in addition to things like this, WPForms will allow you to do several other things, including completely automate your whole business workflow if you wanted. If you want to get started with WPForms, simply head over to WPForms.com/WP Beginner, and you can put in promo code WPBVIP to get 50% off WPForms. And thanks for watching.